Okay, welcome back. In this little exercise, actually, I'm going to show how to take a previously designed layout and transfer that over to a CD jewel case insert and a CD silk just by itself. So what we're going to do is I've started off with this first assignment here, that exercise and type. You got the cover here, and then you've got the the inside spread and that kind of stuff. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this cover and we're going to be applying this template here, which is for the DVD, and this template here, which is courtesy of Super Dupes in New England. Fabulous quality coming out of Super Dupes there. Anyway, this is just a standard industry style template that you would get from a CD supply company. Always use their supplied stuff because that way that cuts down on the errors and you know what's going to be correct. So anyway, we're going to take the imagery inside this layout here, which is 8.5 by 11, and transfer it over to this 4.75 by 4.75 box, which is the CD insert, and then the DVD template itself. So first thing you want to do is make sure all your measurements are all the same. I'm going to go into my preferences, and you can go actually fly to general and you can scroll through, or you can just go to units and display preferences, and then I'm going to make sure everything's in general. For this stuff, usually it's measured in millimeters. CD duplication and stuff, it's just a bit more precise than inches. You can use inches if you want, but it's just cut and dry. And then I'm going to go back here, and this is in inches. It tells me the measurements in inches. I can leave it in inches if you want. I just want to make sure this is set up so it is in inches, and I don't think it is at the moment. It's in millimeters, so yeah, we'll put it in inches. So now we've got, well, that's interesting. Learn something new every day. Apparently it's a global setting. I thought it was attached to each of these documents. So if you change it inches in one, it's going to go to inches in another. So I got to change this to millimeters. Sorry about that. Now you know. So do I. Okay, so let's back to millimeters. I'm going to unlock this template, and I'm going to take a peek at this guy, and it's telling me up in here its width is 117 millimeters. So we're actually going to be making a circle inside InDesign that's going to be 117 millimeters wide, which is going to hold this shape. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to set everything up in Design. I'm going to make a new file, and it doesn't have to be size as to the stuff, because actually we're going to be placing this Illustrator file as a template over top. So I'm going to go OK. I got a bunch of things running here, so it's very, very slow. It's too slow. I need a new machine. And then I'm going to go in here and get my preferences set up. I'm going to put that in millimeters. Okay, and then I'm going to get my layers. Get this over here. I'm going to call this template. I'm going to make another one. I'm going to call it images or image. Make another one. I'm going to call it text. Okay, so in my template layer, and you can have flop these layers around, whatever. I'm going to go to my template layer. Wow, is this slow? And let's see, which one should we do first? Well, we'll do the CD Jewel case first. And open her up. And yeah, just so you know, if you click and you place this image, make sure you're placing it size as. So right now, it's telling me up over here in the information panel that yeah, this thing is at 100%. Possibly not. If you go to your direct selection tool, you click off the canvas, and then when you mouse over your actual image box, you see the white selection tool turns into a hand. Click on that guy, and that's going to go up in here. That's going to tell me the actual scaling. So I could go in here and I could scale this down, for example, and it's going to tell me it's scaled down to 77.60%. But if I was to go over here in my direct selection, or my selection tool, click on the actual box itself, it's telling me that the box, right, is at 100%. The stuff inside, I actually have to go and get my white selection arrow, click on it, and it's going to tell me that it's 77%. Just so you know, it's really important. So I'm going to put this back to 100. Also, what you can do is that you can look at your links panel. So it's Shift Command D will bring up links, and it's going to tell you everything in through here. So you can actually go in. This is a really nice way to proofread stuff. You can go through here, blah 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 blah. It tells me what size it is, what page it's on. It gives me a preview of it. Because it's vector, it's not going to give me the effective resolution. But there is all this kind of cool stuff in here. I can go to panel options, and this is all the stuff that I can click on and tell it to display information in here. So the date modified, where it is, all this kind of stuff, it can show up in this stuff here. So layer overrides, if there's anything, effective PPI, because this is vector. For example, scale. Let's click on the scale, click on the skew, the rotation, and I'm gonna, might as well turn them all on. If I go OK, now if I go to links, it should show me a whole bunch of other stuff too. So there's the dimensions, there's the scale, if there's skew, any skew applied to it, etc., etc. And because this is vector, it's not going to give me that information. But if it was for a raster image, which is the stuff we're going to place in a second, it's going to give me more information. So this links panel is a really nice way to run through and double check everything, and just kind of, it's really nice for pre-flighting stuff. So we got that set up. So I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to move this in roughly in the center of the page. I'm actually going to kind of crop into this and just get rid of all the extra stuff in here. There we go, good enough. Lock that guy down. Actually, I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to go to display performance, high quality display, so I actually see what's going on in here. And really all I have to do for this particular one is just, make sure all of my stuff doesn't go outside this red box. That's for my text. It's the safety margins. All text and keep important images inside this area. The black box outside of that, that's the actual physical trim. That's where the knives on the guillotine are going to come down and trim this thing off. And then we have the dotted line on the outside. That's the bleed. That's any color that's going to the very edge. You extend it out that far, so when the knives do come down and cut along the black area here, they don't have to be really precise, because things do move around on the guillotine chopper. If it's off by a millimeter and you've got this extra color here, it's okay. If you ran color to the very edge and it was off by a millimeter, you'd see like a little white line, because that's where your ink stopped, right? So always, if you have a color, always make combinations for designing for bleed. So once that is set up, now what we're going to do is I'm going to save this guy. Where should we save? I'm save it on the desktop here. Just for an example here. So I got this thing, it's called Jewel 1. Now I'm going to go, actually I got to go back into here. Now I'm going to take this whole thing, I'm just going to copy this whole chunk right across here, because I just want to see what exactly I need. It should work. I'll go back over here, and I want to move this image just down below my template. There we go. So this is what's happening. That's kind of where everything's setting right now, but that template, things are a little tricky. So I'm going to have to scale things down, obviously. So I'm just going to select the whole blinking thing, get my scale tool, can scale it down. And notice that I want to make sure that my bleed, all my imagery is going above that stuff. So I am going to have to move this around a bit. And it also may help to actually draw guides to help out exactly, you kind of picture where all this stuff is supposed to be. So I can turn off my template here to see, turn it back on again.